What's up YouTube? I'm Yajji, and today we're going to be talking about Hanzo, one of the most hated but quite popular heroes in Overwatch. During Season 3, I was able to reach 4200, primarily playing Hanzo, and I wanted to show you guys this because I wanted to show you that it's possible to climb with Hanzo. And here is everything I'm going to be covering in the video today. I think you guys might want to stick around for the how to beat your counters part because I've learned a couple of things that you guys might be interested in when coming up against these specific heroes. So without further ado, let's get started. The most important thing to figure out when playing a hero is to figure out their playstyle. First and foremost, Hanzo is a short to medium range sniper. When you go for the long range shots, you start depending on luck rather than your actual aim. And I tend to play a flank type Hanzo, which puts me at that medium range. This flank assassin type playstyle works really well due to his mobility, one-shot capabilities, as well as his sonic arrow. Hanzo can also safely 1v1 most heroes so long as you have scatter arrow up. I've learned to get pretty creative with this ability by using the walls rather than just the floors. You should also be using sonic arrow off cooldown to let your team know where the enemy team is and how they're setting up to target key picks. Playing as a flanker isn't as easy as I make it sound though. It requires you to be confident in your ability to 1v1 other players as well as get picks for your team without dying. This means you need to have reliable enough aim, awareness, and positioning to do so. Try to minimize your deaths as Hanzo while flanking, even if you don't get picks. Harassing the enemy team from the back can relieve pressure from the front, allowing your team to push through and get a pick. The worst thing you can do while going off on a solo mission is dying. The key to success while playing any sniper is the element of surprise. This comes with positioning. If the enemy team doesn't know where you are, they can't hide from you or prepare for your shots, assuming you don't miss. And this ties back to the whole flank play style. It just complements Hanzo's kit very well, and I think I've made it very clear that flanking works especially well on Hanzo. Now let's move on to the next topic. How to 1v1 certain counters. A lot of people underestimate Hanzo's ability to 1v1, but after playing Hanzo for so long, it seems to me that a lot of players tend to have the same movements. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Let's use Genji as an example. Genji players usually tend to get Hanzo's attention with a shuriken hit and then deflect right away, assuming the Hanzo is going to shoot at them. I now have enough experience that I just draw my bow back to show them that I'm ready to shoot without the intention of actually shooting them because I know that every Genji player does this. They follow the deflect up with a dash to get behind you and get more damage off on you. After deflect is down, you have a much greater chance of winning the fight. Make sure to wait until double jump has been used before taking the shot as it's a lot harder to hit a Genji when he has one jump left in his pocket. So key things to remember when fighting a Genji is to fake out the deflect, anticipate the dash that's coming behind you, and don't shoot at a Genji that has one jump left in his pocket. Wait for the second jump to be used before taking the shot. If you follow these directions, you should have a much easier time killing Genjis. Next up, we have D.Va. And for some reason, people consider D.Va a counter to Hanzo, which isn't really true in the sense of 1v1s. The only time I consider her a counter is when she has her defense matrix up in a teamfight situation, blocking my shots from hitting her teammates. But you can get around that by simply positioning yourself in a different way. Anyway, to 1v1 a D.Va, it's pretty simple. Just keep shooting arrows at her until she's comfortable with putting her defense matrix down. The key to beating D.Vas is to actually land your scatter arrow. If you don't, she'll probably win the fight most of the time. To beat a D.Va, all you need is a scatter arrow plus a regular shot to the face. And that's pretty much it. I wouldn't recommend taking baby D.Va on as her hitbox is pretty small and you'll probably be close to death after that fight. It's better to leave D.Va in baby form anyway. Next up, we have Pharah. In my opinion, Pharah is one of the hardest counters to Hanzo in the game. Now, shooting Pharahs in general takes a lot of practice, and I've had that practice. And I've found that being on higher ground usually helps as well as being closer. Forget about shooting down a Pharah from long distances, other than having that one lucky shot. You can't really do much about a Pharah until she gets closer. So wait until she does that, and then get to high ground and try to take her down. Next up on the list, we have Roadhog. Roadhog is one of the most annoying heroes to go up against, and it's because of his hook. The fact that you move slower makes it an easy target for you to get hooked. But that's the thing about Roadhog. The most threatening thing about him is his hook. Once that's down, you can safely take him down after a couple of shots. The best way I've found of juking a Roadhog hook is by faking a shot and then going for an unexpected wall climb, just like I'm showing you in this clip. But that's pretty much all there is to juking a Roadhog hook as Hanzo. It's pretty simple, but effective. Alright, so let's move on to reading people and landing shots as Hanzo. So one big tip for landing shots in general is to pay attention to people's jumping patterns. And just to let you guys know, everybody has a jumping pattern. This includes all players at Masters and below. And the players at lower ranks tend to jump more often, meaning you can hit them more often. So the next time you're in a game, try to look for people's jumping patterns. You can generally spot the pattern once they start the first jump. And after the first jump, they should be an easy read. And the reason why jumping makes it easier to hit people is because once you go up, there's only one place you can go, and that's down. So once they land, you want to immediately go for the shot because it's as easy as it's gonna get. Now when you're playing as Hanzo, you'll realize that your movement speed is reduced. That, combined with the fact that you probably jump, makes you an extremely easy target to hit. Instead, try strafing. You probably won't be able to stop yourself from jumping out of habit, but slowly you'll start to eliminate the jumping habit and incorporate the strafing one. Overall though, try to stop jumping in general and watch for other people's jumping patterns. And finally, let's move on to Hanzo's ultimate. There's two ways that I use Hanzo's ult, and that's proactively and reactively. There's a time and a place for one or the other. Usually I'll use the Hanzo ult proactively when they're in a small room or in a confined space. Otherwise, I'll usually use it reactively, especially in an open space and when we're already engaged in a fight. It's hard to adjust your positioning, especially when you don't know where the dragon is coming from, and you need to pay attention to what's going on in the fight. Hanzo generates his ult pretty fast, meaning you can use it to get one kill if that kill is an Ana or anyone on their team that's a threat. You'll also want to make sure that the distance you're using your ult from is closer to the enemy. The reason being, the closer you are, the less time the enemy team has to react. But make sure you're not too close, otherwise you'll miss out on some damage since the dragon is released a little further away from where the arrow is shot. And one tip I found when playing against the Zenyatta, which counters Hanzo's ult completely, is to avoid comboing Zarya ult and Hanzo ult. Instead, you should probably use Hanzo's ult to bait out the Transcendence so that Graviton can be used without Transcendence. Once you do that, you pretty much guarantee a team wipe with the Graviton Surge. Well, that's it for this video, guys. I hope you guys got something out of this video, and if you did, hit that like button and sub to the channel for more content like this. And as usual, I'll see you guys next time.